Mike, and we're looking at the Bitcoin chart. Now, I'm always looking at charts and I'm always figuring out where I'm wrong. Okay, before it happens, I need to know where I'm wrong, right? So, do I think this is the start of a new Bitcoin trend? No, I don't. But I can offer you another view, and the only reason I'm going to present this view is because of the recent Euro and Aussie dollar video that I made, where I discovered what I truly believe is what's going to happen to the euro, and I believe there's a lot of bullishness coming in the euro, and I'll link that below. But there is a view here that I have had in mind, which it's got me into trouble before. This type of small degree wave analysis type thing, but I believe that there's a room for it, especially also because of my recent Dow Jones and ASX update as well. That basically spells out that we have been looking at a weak wave E the whole time. So there's a couple of videos there, a couple of shifting ideas that sort of tell me this sort of thing, and it's quite fascinating for myself to actually be able to finally come back to Bitcoin and present this view. So so as you know, like I said, wave one down happened. This has to be a wave A because it's a zigzag, right? Technically speaking, that's a zigzag. It's nothing else, not a full correction, right? So therefore, I'm looking for a B wave down. Now, with my previous analysis where I thought the US dollar was going to go up eventually, I thought that we would go down, down. But now everything has changed. And I believe that Bitcoin won't go much lower than the previous low, right? And I'll lay out the reason why. So after an A, we need a B. So the next logical conclusion is that this is a B here. Okay, and we had a small CDE pattern, right? Now, this is why I didn't want to present this view before, but I'm doing it now. So here we go. This little area here contains the CDE pattern. It looks like a zigzag, right? And I thought that it was A, B, C, small A, B, C, D, E in here for just wave four of 5-wave move. But it's the only way that I can actually say that this is actually wave two, right? And that being two, then three happened here, right? Replace the A with a three. Now I've done this to XRP already. It's not hard to do because we're dealing with fractal patterns, except the XRP chart's a bit different. Here, I believe this is the only reason why this pattern exists in all the cryptos, and I think it's because of Bitcoin. Because of the way that this correction expanded, I believe that's why it happened. But nevertheless, it's plausible, is what I can say. So that being the case, we have a 1, 2, 3. That was a pretty sharp move on the RSI. It was the sharpest, I'd say, almost. That's pretty sharp too, the wave one, but that was also longer. And that's another reason why I thought this idea couldn't be possible, is because wave one would be fairly long. So this leaves me with a bit of a clue as to how long wave five will be. Now, because wave three can't be the shortest, I believe that wave five it can only be as long as wave three. So right there, you're looking at just barely a low, right? And you'd be basically going down to make a new low from the level of the end of wave E. Okay, so I'll just get rid of this fib, right? So the end of wave E will be uh, the end of wave four. Okay, but there's just one thing I want to mention about this, and that is that we don't know what wave E will completely look like in the end, right? Just because we've seen one wave up, it doesn't mean that it can't turn into a weak 5 wave move, right? And I think this is possible because of the the correction that's still left to go in the euro for a small move lower, um, and also markets in general. Okay, I think markets in general still need to do some corrective processes. Not that much. I think we're pretty close, but I still think there's a little bit of time to go. So my first idea is that we're going to get something like this being wave one, then we'll get a wave two, a wave three, a wave four, a wave five. It'll probably look like the beginning of a trend, but then we'll get a move down. Okay. Now remember what I said, we can't be too long because wave three can't be the shortest. So it might turn out to be something that ends here, or maybe we already saw wave one and a sharp two. Maybe this is three, and maybe wave four will go into quite a correction, right? It'll go sideways, down, up, whatever it takes, right? Before it makes a wave five and completes. As long as all the way to the lows, which is obviously this level here, right? You can't, technically, I don't see it extending past whatever's the lowest point right there up to this point. So what I'm trying to say to you here in this case, that could be some kind of, I don't know, gauge, is that we can't see Bitcoin go above 27,792, or basically that level, right? Because it'd be too long, and then whatever has to go down to make a new low will be longer than wave three. All right. So yes, it's possible. It is very possible that Bitcoin might not even go much lower. Now, another thing that kind of supports this view is that this level is around the same level as the 2000, the top of the 2017 move, which is typically where expanded corrections fall back down toward. So therefore, um, to me, that's support, I guess, right? Uh, anyway, so that would be the end of wave E, because I believe it's a wave E. My recent analysis, I don't think it's wrong. I just think that the E wave portion of it can be exaggerated to the point where it can seem like it's bearish or not, whatever, depends on what you believe in. Now, when I say support, it doesn't mean that it's not going to go below that level, because it already has, right? But it can definitely hang around that level for a while whilst this completes before it moves higher. So that level is by no means anything that's going to help you. It's knowing the waves that really determines, you know, the true value of where we're going, and knowing about it, the analysis. All right. So uh, the other thing is, like, yeah, we're going to go for a big move. I think the euro will go to $2.30. All right. So the euro at $2.30, where would Bitcoin go during that time? Because I do believe it is going to be a wave three up. Who cares? The point is, once it gets to a certain level, it's not going to fall back down like a fiat currency, right? We've seen what happens with that sort of thinking. It doesn't work. I think that there's something macro fundamental going on beneath it all that's causing, you know, the inflated value of Bitcoin to begin with. So therefore, it'll hold its value because that underlying theme won't change, right? So corrections will be shallow because of the underlying inflationary pressure. It won't change. Right? I don't think it will change, or it's probably even just the amount of fiat units in the system circulating, right? Because as I've mentioned before, they can say that they're going to tighten, but really, do they tighten, or do they just pull levers and make it all just balance out? Um, like I think they do pull levers to balance out because higher interest rates definitely would crash the economy completely. But somehow they're finding a way to do it, and I think that will continue. Not saying that other things like general life expenses are not going to get worse, or you know be harder. Debt will be harder to maintain, but it doesn't mean that those underlying themes will prevent Bitcoin from rising. And I think that there's that dark matter that we don't know about that's driving Bitcoin prices, right? It's like a dark matter because you can't see it. We don't even know if it exists, but it's there, right? It's there. Um, I would say it does exist because it's definitely driving it up, and you could even say that that's just human psychology, or even like you know uh, sentiment, whatever it might be. The waves to me are the guide. So this is my view. One, two, three, four, five. And if you haven't seen my Dow Jones latest video and the Euro one, I'll link them below so you can check them out. So hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.